We're now ready to invite Pete Sackle.
Thank you, thank you, Forward up with the microphone.
So it's got a button that goes one way.
There we go.
All right.
Good morning. Morning. So I'm Pete Sackle, business and personal performance coach. So I am still kind of in launch phase with this business, so definitely any feedback is much appreciated. I know there's a couple of other business coaches here too as well. But I'd love to talk to you later about what I'm talking about here today. But basically, you ever, as a business owner, ever felt scattered, kind of disorganized, maybe not making the progress that you want to make? Well, I coined a little phrase I call entrepreneurial ADHD. And there's so many things to think about when you're running a business, whether it's getting new clients, cutting costs, your marketing plan, finances. There's so many different things going on. It's no wonder we all get a little scattered and lost. But and what I found, it's not really a lack of focus. A lot of people think that ADHD is kind of a lack of focus. It's actually what I found with entrepreneurial ADHD. It's making sure that you're focusing on the right thing at the right time. So again, it's there's a lot of swirls running around and things that can take your attention. So you want to make sure that you really focus on the right thing at the right time, and that's what I help clients do. How do I do that? The methodology is basically understand, focus, and grow. I love the rule of three. That's something I always pops up quite a bit on my stuff. But so it starts with understanding, right? So I work with the client to understand and get them to understand where they are right now, where they want to be, and kind of where that compares, and what work needs to be done to get there. Understand also the environment. What are those things? Like I said, there's a lot of things to focus on when you're a business owner. I identified 21 core business components that we kind of go through, and again, so the business owner understands the landscape, understand what's out there that they need to be concerned with. But then it comes down to then identifying and focusing on what's the priority. You can't focus on 21 things at once. That's kind of what I was saying before. That's where you get frazzled and burned out. So really help with the focus on what's important right now to get done for the next week or 2, 3 months, whatever the time may be. And then to make sure that we're always just growing with intention. We really want to plan the growth and again have that growth mindset. We were talking before this about mindset with business owners as well, and it's something that it's interesting because when I was looking at starting this company and this endeavor this round, I was really into the whole personal development space. I do a lot of listen to podcasts, read books and things, and so I was kind of thinking, okay, which way do I go? Do I go more of the personal development, life coaching, or more of the business coaching? And so I just kind of said, okay, let me just go with the business coaching. But what I found is, first few times I sat down with like the first 5 or 6 people I sat down with, everything was about mindset. And it wasn't like they said, oh, I've got, mindset issues I need to work on. It was things that came up, and the big thing for business owners is the limiting belief that nobody can do this as well as I can. That's the biggest, roadblock, the biggest thing that keeps business from growing. Because if you don't trust anybody else to come in and do a job for you, then you're not going to grow, obviously. So mindset it comes into that a lot. So I really look for clients that have that growth mindset. I do offer some different packages I kind of created here, so different ways to get to those different things. I think I noticed on the email you sent out, I think it was talking about the Coach on Demand product. That's something I just kind of came up with recently, which I think is a little bit unique. It's for a low monthly cost. Basically, you get unlimited coaching sessions. They're what I call flash coaching. So it's 10 to 15 minute phone calls that you schedule with me, and it's unlimited. And it's like I say, 1 monthly payment. So that's something a little bit different. But yeah, there's different ways. Like I say, the first, the packages or just a monthly retainer type of thing. So I say entrepreneurial ADHD. I'm the drug you take for entrepreneurial ADHD. The first one's always free. So it starts with a free 45-minute business assessment. Again, we sit down and really understand where you are, what you're looking to do, and we make a decision, jointly. Is this do we move forward with this relationship or not? Because I want to be successful as well. So if somebody is not showing that they're going to have this growth mindset and listen and kind of be open to different ways of looking at things, then it's not a good move for either of us. So kind of like a little bit about the journey. So marketing, a lot of the usual suspects here. What I'm doing now is networking, word of mouth. I have a podcast, which I just dropped my 7th episode yesterday. It came out on Tuesdays. It's called Meeting Success. I was in the meetings and events industry for 30 something years, and yeah, so it's been a lot of fun. I reconnected with a lot of Disney people that I've known for years, and had some great conversations. Outreach, just calling people that I know from the industry. Had breakfast yesterday. I mean, just trying to fill up the calendar with meetings, and then I'm offering a referral commission right now too. So if anybody's interested in that, we can talk about that. Again, what the prospect can expect. A free 45-minute assessment is kind of the first, and it could be, the initial call could be 10 to 15 minutes. I mean, if they don't have 45 minutes to dedicate, just to kind of get a better idea, we can shorten that up. But then once we do that, we determine that's, it makes sense to work together. Then we do a deep dive discovery process. And I get obsessed, with discovery. That's, I think, why I started the podcast. I'm just kind of naturally curious. I just love to hear people's story, where their perspective, where they're coming from, and see how I could potentially help. And then, we determine the level of engagement, whether it's a monthly retainer or there's a 3-month package if they're working on something specific. So, my contact information, subscribe to my YouTube channel. The podcasts are just on YouTube right now, but I appreciate it if anybody can. I actually figured out how to do that little QR code myself in Canada. Josh has got a question? Yeah, go ahead. Well, first, thank you. That's the last part now.
So,
Josh is going to ask the hard question.
feedback and then a question. The drug thing, okay, you could be the drug. I wouldn't sell addiction though. It's a little weird.
Those are for this crowd, yeah.
But what I do love is your ADHD angle. Like,
a lot of people like that. It's a little different.
yeah, either playing off of, like, first of all, hyperactivity is not a disorder. That's
Well, just so you know, I was diagnosed with ADHD about 2.5 years ago.
right.
I have a podcast for you.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah.
That's such a great story.
But when they tell you it's a disorder, ignore that. Anyways,
Grant Cardone was diagnosed with that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think, well, a lot of entrepreneurs, it's underdiagnosed.
but it's hyperactive order maybe is what you're bringing, not the disorder.
It's a hyperactive.
Well, that's why I say it's not a lack of focus, which is
Correct.
common.
So, or it could be hyperactive focus. So maybe part of your message is, hey, you're in a rush. Okay, I'll help you aim. So so my question is, who's in your heart to serve? Is it people? Is it entrepreneurs with ADHD that maybe have all this energy, but they're not focused? Is that your key component? Where are these people in life before they meet you? Who's
Yeah, we were talking, and I appreciate that question, and it's something that I struggle with. And because everybody always says, like, the riches are in the niches, you gotta like really niche down, and I have trouble with that sometimes because I feel like, oh, I'm gonna miss something and opportunity somewhere else if I get too specific about it. But I was actually thinking of going that route, and you'll see on my website and my marketing, my VSL, it talks about ADHD and that component and what I had to do to kind of create a system.
I would lean into that
To keep
very
myself-
heavily as your brand, but
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so could you go back to the slide with the different packages and stuff that you got?
Mhm.
Okay, so I wanna know, what are you selling the most? What do you wanna sell the most? And, with so far the people that you've been having meetings with, selling to, like, what do they seem to need the most?
Yeah, so, I mean, really, the private coaching on retainer is kind of like the common one that, the most common. The coach on demand is kind of a new thing. I'm just kind of trying to get that out there, but, I'm still in launch phase, so I don't know if I have all the data to be able to answer that question completely, but, obviously, well, not obviously, but with any business, I mean, you should start to get to a point where you're trying to scale, where I'm not just trading hours for dollars. So I'm always, trying to look at like different ways of, coaching without just tying myself up in my time, to really be able to, and that's what,
Well, that's what the podcast.
well, podcast is more just about exposure, because I'm having conversations with like, business people from the meetings, events, and entertainment, area, and it's kind of like about their story, about how they, got to where they are and how they achieve success and all that, but yeah, I mean, but to your point, I mean, that's kind of, it could be digital courses, but, I have some, it's a balance for me, because some of those digital courses, like you see all the time, people buy digital courses like crazy, and they don't do anything with them, because there's no follow-up, it's just, they're on their own, and, do I have time for a quick story?
Yeah, actually, we, just so everybody knows, our normal format is two presenters. We only have one presenter, so I told Peter that we were gonna grill him today.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want you to tell the story because I've got a point on that after we get here from Peter. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll just make this quick, and just kind of to prove the point about, and we were talking about this out front too, is like kind of what bothers me in the industry is, selling these, digital courses, and, we have, at home, we have this 4-year-old, golden doodle named Stella, I mean, she's adorable. But she has this bad habit of jumping up on people, when they come in, she gets excited and then she jumps up. And so, I just said, okay, I gotta train her not to do that. So one day, one Saturday, I got on YouTube and, searched, how to, keep your dog from jumping up, and there's, thousands of course, experts out there that are giving all this, expert advice and everything. So I was like, going through it, and 4 hours later, I finally pushed myself away from the computer, went out into the living room, somebody knocked on the door, they walk in, what does Stella do? Jump up. After all that time I spent, got all these experts' advice, she was still jumping up on people. And that's kind of like what, a lot of the digital, coaching, it's just information. I mean, information's the easy part. You can get any kind of information you want, it's all about implementation. So that's what I try to do is, working one-to-one with them is to, I'm sorry, you're
the
the.
dog watch the videos?
Yeah, exactly. Eric, stop thinking about doing
Peter?
Um,
And then Jim?
I love what you present, but I'm big on story selling. So I didn't hear your DNA on the story. You throw it kind of like a salty thing, like, oh, I've been 30 years plus on the marketing, but you sold me the product, you didn't sell me yourself.
Mhm.
I need to see to know why should I go with you with another business coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So if you
absolutely.
give me a little bit more of yourself, because people fall in love with people,
Yep.
not with products.
Do you think, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm going to tag into that a little bit because you did mention your years of experience in the event and meeting industry, and you threw out this little thing of nice to reconnect with some Disney people.
Mhm.
So you've got a story that I don't know if you worked at Disney or if you worked with a lot of Disney. I don't know because you didn't tell us that story.
Mhm.
So I think a lot of us would recommend that you weave that into kind of the beginning, whether it's your story about how you got to here or a story about somebody that you helped, one or the other. But you
Yeah.
need to throw that story
Yeah.
in at the onset.
I love the
So that's
power
how-
story.
Jim.
Okay, so, in the discovery process,
Mhm.
have you thought about putting together some type of like a informal questionnaire or something?
Yes,
Then that way you're modeling what you want the new guy, your client to do.
yeah,
Look, we do this because we wanna help you focus, this is how we can focus, this is how we can make our 45 minutes more effective and
Yeah.
get the most out of it, and then that can kind of help guide you in direction of what package do you wanna,
yeah.
what package would probably best fit.
No, that's a great point. I am putting together, I have like a questionnaire and yeah, even to see, does this make sense? I mean, I can kind of tell from some of the answers, are they gonna be open to coaching and to help them? Thank you.
I thought it was great, John, thank you.
Thank you.
I learned a lot. Questions is, well, comments really. I can't tell who your ideal client avatar is.
Mhm.
and who you're talking to. So I want for you to know that who you're talking to when you're talking to us is really, really important. And unless, that means you're talking to no one.
Yeah.
So I almost feel like you could be talking to meetings and event industry. You understand those pain points, and maybe that's a place where you could think about really talking to the pain points in that industry, because
Right.
that's where all your contacts are. And then last, the dog story you told was your frustration with a quick fix, people looking for a quick fix. And I want to tell you that you're selling a quick fix a little bit with the coaching on demand and the 60-day to profits optimization. Those are quick fixes. So how are you really leaning into your, like, are you going against your own philosophy by offering these really short packages, which are what people are going to be looking for a quick fix, and that's not what you want to sell?
Yeah, I mean, it's,
Retainer thing is what he wants to sell.
well, and there's nothing wrong with, I don't think, like, if there's something that they wanna get done in a certain amount of time, I mean, there's things that are gonna be, you know, a priority. And I understand what you're saying. My frustration, with some of the digital courses is that there's no follow-up. There's no, you know, the person, they buy a course and they're on their own. So with all these packages, I'm coaching one-to-one.
You're not selling a quick fix. You're selling a
Right.
personal relationship.
Right. I mean, it could be something that we get done in 90 days, 60 days, whatever, you know, it might be, but that's figured out ahead of time and I'm still there with them. So I'm not just, you know, selling them something and saying, okay, good luck.
Do you know what kind of experience you want to have with people? Because working with someone as a coach for 30 days or 60 days is a completely different experience than transforming someone. So what do you want to spend your time doing?
I think it's, well,
We all want to make money,
right,
Is this
right.
a
okay? So
Dr.
that's like
Deal
the
Thyself?
no-brainer there. But what do you want to spend your time doing?
Is that open to say?
Another way to put that, what makes you cry?
There you go.
What brings tears to your eyes with this business? What makes it that I want to?
In a good way, you mean?
What's that?
Yes.
In a good way?
Yeah.
I do get emotional, so that's, but, you know, I like I say, I have a passion for getting to really know people, like what their story is, how to help them, you know, on their journey, because everybody's got a unique journey, unique background, unique perspective. So really just for me to get to understand that, and then to figure out, you know, how much I can help them and help as many people as I can. I don't know. You know, it's not real specific.
There's a lot going on there. Think about. It's expand. Seconds. Then motivation. I know that. How to figure out that emotional. I don't communicate that. What is the purpose? What you're trying to do? That one sentence, 10 seconds, that catches it.
Do you think like to Josh's point, I mean, do you think that like the entrepreneurial ADHD or just ADHD in general is maybe something that I should focus on to kind of,
I think we've got a point on that coming up.
okay, good.
So, as a certified, some people would say certifiable ADHD expert, and also having a business consulting business for over 30 years, I look at it holistically, and I like the story aspect, and what you came out swinging with the ADHD thing, and you know, I'm the drug for the entrepreneur ADHD, and I give you the first one free. That was great, but then you just kind of stopped on that. I would have continued on that. I found that people like statistics, right? As long as you can verify them, and as long as you can make them part of the story.
87%
Okay.
of people.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I was
So-
gonna say 63, I don't know.
So, you know, only 4% of people in the country have been diagnosed
Right.
with ADHD. And the thing is, though, is a significant number of entrepreneurs are those with ADHD.
You almost have to be.
And so, you have, I'm assuming your coaching and on retainer is like your end goal, so to speak, because that's monthly recurring revenue,
Right.
and it's your highest level of
Yeah,
service.
I mean, you know, ideally it'd be like a mix of that, so that, yeah, it'd be,
Right, but my point is this, is that every business, especially coaches and those who provide services, should have a productization
Mhm.
schedule,
Mhm.
right? So you start out with your 45-minute, I have like my meal with a mentor.
Right.
And the next one is an easy way for them to get involved financially with a minimal commitment,
Mhm.
right? And then the next one's larger, and the next one's larger
Right.
still, et cetera. So
Bring them through the
you
process.
wanna go, you want all your customers to be on that ramp, okay?
Mhm.
And though I like the ADHD thing,
Mhm.
and I think what you should do is make a story, and maybe even an example of somebody that you've worked with in the past, and that take them through the audience through the whole process, and then the benefits that they receive.
That's
from it.
interesting, I like that.
Right. Oh, and by the way, for everybody's knowledge, these are recorded, and so when the person who's in charge of getting these things put on the YouTube finally manages to get it on YouTube, go to YouTube and go to YouTube and watch it like dozens of times,
Mhm.
and take notes and understand really what the questions are and everything else like
We
that.
can tell.
That's how you can get your benefit out of it.
You can tell what, how much.
How you watch it.
Yeah.
All right,
So it's my time's up.
let's see, actually, I'm gonna hit some people that haven't asked questions yet, or made comments yet, so we're gonna go to Eric, Nina, and then,
Are you going to be doing groups?
Yes,
Oh, that's a good idea.
ideally, I mean, that's, yeah, once I, and to your point, Robert, too, I mean, that's part of, like an option that, you know, is, once I get, you know, more people into the, kind of into the mix, and I'll start,
But we still don't know who your
creating
target
groups.
market really is.
Yeah, I mean, that's something.
Groups can be a good way of getting constant retainer work
Oh, yeah.
from a number of people. And you're still preparing like you would for a one-on-one, but you got 6 people.
Yeah,
that
it
are-
spreads out the liability, like the, makes it a little bit more secure on the.
The accountability.
Your time is more efficient.
Yeah.
This is kind of piggybacking on a lot of, like in this slide where you say packages, makes it look like each bullet point is a separate.
Better.
Oh, no.
Each bullet point is a separate,
Each bullet point is a separate package.
It does look like
yeah,
it is.
well, it is.
Wow, well, there you go.
And this isn't like all of them, I have more on the website too, yeah, but this is, so like, this was just kind of an example of, like, you know, different ways I can package, you know, services. So the key 390 days to clarity, purpose, and profits, it's a 3-month, program that focuses on just that. It's kind of like the flagship type of, you know, kind of looks at multiple things there, but the 6 months to market domination is really working on like what we're talking about, which again is ironic because I help clients with that, making sure that they have a unique selling proposition and all that. And the 60 days of profit optimization is just that. It's making sure that you know, costs to be cut, we go through and really look at the profitability. Coach on demand, like I say, is the monthly thing. That's a low monthly payment for unlimited on demand or unlimited flash coaching.
I think maybe some of the points here is, if this is maybe your ultimate goal, where you want to bring people, have these
Ranked.
organized in such a way where there's an obvious progression.
Yeah.
And maybe it isn't obvious to them right away, but it needs to be obvious to you so that you can lead them through.
Oh, can I go?
What, a quick follow-up? Yeah.
Yes, just really, really quickly, similar to the point that Denise was trying to make, I guess, with the quick fix things, do any of these, have like a person-to-person, do you interact with everybody that's going to be in each
Yes.
packages? And I'm
Yeah.
wondering if it would be worth mentioning that you have this one-on-one, that you'll have a one-on-one experience, so it doesn't seem like you're just selling a quick fix.
Right. Yeah, that's what we were talking about before. Is that it's not just, you know, here's a digital course, go, you know, go have fun. It's like, yeah, every one of these involves a private one-on-one coaching.
Yeah.
I can tell you're really good at what you do, right? Right here. The only reason that you're feeling the way you're feeling right now is just because of the fact that you don't have that target clear. What he's telling you, because the moment you do, you'll be a killer and you're never gonna feel like that ever again.
Yeah.
See? So, the one thing, what is the one thing? And these you already know. What is the one thing that you can really help them with? There's only one thing that you can truly do. Everything else everybody else can do. Any business coach. But what is the one thing that you can really do for them?
How you differentiate yourself.
Yeah, and that again is something that I struggle with. And one of the things that
The
I
first
always,
one that comes to mind.
well, the first one that always comes to mind is I just love getting people to see things in a different way.
In what way?
Just a way that's, they haven't thought of before. Because I mean, again, it's, business owners, I mean, there's a lot going on. So they get very much focused in the day-to-day, it's a cliche, but they're working in their business, not on their business. So if I can come in and look at something, with a different set of eyes, I just think I have that ability to really look at things differently and to be able to, hey, did you ever think about doing this, this way? I don't know if that's strong enough to make my,
So it's not gonna be the title of a book. How will you say it? How will you write it?
well, the title of my book, actually, I'm working on a book, is
What's the name?
You Can't Kill All the Squirrels.
Okay.
Focus.
Yeah.
Focus, it's really about focus.
Yeah,
And
yeah, clarity, yeah, focus.
speaking of which, a couple comments that ironically have to do with focus. You said you have even more programs on your website. You're trying to kill too many squirrels.
Right.
Yeah.
You're being Cheesecake Factory instead of being a high-end restaurant. And,
Yes.
and number two,
It's on a high.
and number two, unless your target, I produce podcasts and I've helped businesses launch podcasts, unless your target market is going to be in that entertainment industry, if you're targeting those type of executives and things, fine. Otherwise, your podcast might be a massive waste of time.
Yeah, I mean, and that was the idea was that I would target industry, because I have, a lot of contacts there, and that's what I've been doing, is reaching out to them.
Bob,
Yeah,
and then,
thank you.
and then we're gonna wrap it up.
Am I up? Thank you so much.
Bob,
Question?
I know you.
I know, you do look familiar.
B&I,
Yeah,
years ago.
two-part question.
He isn't here.
How do I measure, your results? And how do you or I, as a customer, how do we stop if it's not working? So how do I measure your performance? How do we get out?
So in the beginning with the discovery process, we'll do an actual set goals and targets, and this is what we're gonna do. So depending upon what we're going after, if we're looking to increase profit, we're gonna say, okay, by this time, we're gonna, increase profit by this much. So there's gonna be like real tangible,
Okay.
measurable things that we can look at. And as far as like, determining if it's still kind of working, that's something that's, as two adults, I think we need to come together with every once in a while and say, hey, how's this working for you? Kind of like remember Ed Koch, how am I doing? Everything. I mean, it's like just kind of that check-in to make sure that, it's still working for both of us. Because again, I want to be successful. I don't want to waste my time either. So it's just about open communication.
Thanks.
I think said a couple of times, or at least like people, you can really say who you are, what you did, what your background is.
Right.
Transparency, like a executive coaching business. Why would people want to do for you, work with you? Why would they want to contract you? Telling them, in 6 months, I'm going to have market domination and I've been in the business 12 years. Right? That to me, sounds like that quick fix video that you're going to train your dog with.
Mm-hmm.
So, in all fairness, you kind of highlighted certain things about your background. You really need to have that as your bottom, right? That's your foundation. This is who I am. This is what I've done. This is what, why I can make you better, because I've done it. I have that experience. And then you have to then build onto this. And like others, just from my personal perspective, I think how you present your packages is important, but having multiple packages, because it's not a one size fits all.
Right.
And this is a tough business. you're gonna find people who wanna focus on market domination, so maybe it's not 6 months of market domination, but it's like, put together a 6 month package, right, where you focus on it, right, so, and, and with your guarantees. But my question really to you is, how can you express who you are so you can get to that market? Because otherwise, you're just gonna get lost, with all the other ones.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point, and again, it kind of goes back to, a couple of things that we talked about, storytelling, but also, yeah, just, like you said, who am I? What kind of makes me different? And I guess, that's one of the questions I would have too, is what could I say, what would you want to know right off the bat, like when I'm coming up and, again, attention spans being short.
Somebody said it before, when you start off with your discovery session, you want to prove to this person that you have a methodology that'll work for them and will get them structure. Or at the same time, you want to also turn around and put together the message. I would suggest looking at a bunch of other coaches and their bios, what they do, how they present, look at your industry and your people, and go back and say, if I had a coach when I was in this business, what are the 3 things they probably would have helped me figure out, right? Because coaches do, they don't tell you, they help you figure it out. What are the 3 things that they would have helped me figure out, right, that would have made my career much better, right? And I think if you can identify those things and then show that you can help people those, I think you probably would be in a much better position coming off in the authority, right, and as a leader in that industry. Because the ADHD and all those things are great to get people on, there's gotta be a belief in you first.
Yeah, last question?
Do you have a coach?
I have a couple of coaches.
You're talking about clarity, purpose, like a lot of the things that you're helping people with, you're not communicating that you have.
Right.
And so my advice to you is work with your coach to get clear on what you're communicating, what your story is, what your ideal market, ideal client looks like.
Yeah, that's exactly, I totally know that. I mean, it's like the cobbler's wife doesn't have shoes or something like that.
The kids don't.
Something like that. Right, good. I think that was the last slide.
So, this one?
Yeah,
I'll leave this one up.
Yeah.
Again, thank you, Pete.
Thank you.
I'd like to add in, I've got a good friend, one of those people in life that has known me longer than I have, because he's a couple years older than me and our parents have been friends forever. He has dyslexia, and he has turned that into a tool. And his name is Paul Daniels. If you want to follow him on LinkedIn, he does some great posting on there. He's out of Dallas, but he talks about living in the periphery, and he kind of equates that to the dyslexia. But he's kind of created a brand, a message around that, where he doesn't land and kind of stay in the, it's all about dyslexia and all about that.
Right.
But he kind of made that point, and then he created this thing. So that might be an opportunity for you. And anybody else, as you're looking at, okay, who are my core customers? Who are my core clients? What is it that I do really, really well? Like it's been brought up a couple times, what makes me stand out? What differentiates me from the pack? And then really, really lean into that. Niching in, I think, you don't have the capacity to do 5,000 clients a year.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like,
So you only have so much time and so many personal resources that you can attribute to this, and a lot of other people, you've got the same issue. You've only got so much that you can do for people, so find the people that you can do that for the best, and who are going to pay you and be happy to pay you to do it. And that's a challenge that a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of small businesses, they don't know who their core customers are. They haven't done that customer discovery. They haven't really, dived?
Just dove.
Jumped, thank you. Thesaurus Eric back there. They haven't done that research and introspection into who their customers are, and they think, a lot of entrepreneurs think, everybody's gonna want what I've got. if I could just get it in front of everybody, everybody would buy it. And your message just gets diluted and lost. So if you can figure out, your avatar and really, really, really focus in on who it, who is gonna benefit from you the most. That's something that I think we can all take away as we're working on our businesses. So, that being said, Rupert,
Oh, hey.
who do you help on Monday?
Hello, everybody. Rupert Magnot here. I started an organization called Orlandopreneur because my mission is to double the paltry 5% success rate for startups from 5% to 10%. Now, the only way to do that, the best way to do that, and I was remarking to an old earlier, that the tallest trees begin with the smallest seeds. And speaking of which, we're at 2,198 members. So if 2 of you sign up right now, we'll hit 2,200, okay? But in any case, so I don't want to take too much time. So we started Orlandopreneur because we know that the cause of entrepreneurship failure is the entrepreneur. And they don't have the right mindset, which leads to not asking the right questions, which leads to insufficient planning. And then, of course, the incubators and accelerators and the people that provide them with guidance obviously aren't providing them sufficient guidance. And then the people that are investing in them and so forth aren't doing their job either. So, okay, am I supposed to dance?
Yes.
Okay. So we started Orlandopreneur a little over a year ago, and just to get everybody together. And so we're averaging over 150 people per event. We have 190 plus RSVPs for this next Monday night at the Citrus Club downtown. So you'll just park in the Citrus Club garage. I believe it's only $2 an hour parking, so it's only a few bucks, so that's be good. Kind of hors d'oeuvres and everything else, but we are also partnering with the National Organization of Women Business Owners because we are celebrating womenpreneurs. And there's a few of you in the room, and we want you to come and enjoy. And I always teach something that nobody else has been teaching. And when 51.4% of our 230 reviews, 4.8 out of 5 stars, says that we made an impact, I think I'm on the right track. So what we want you to do is join Orlandopreneur. It's on meetup.com, and RSVP for the event, and come and meet like-minded people. And if you come to me in the beginning and ask and tell me who you want to meet, what type of person you want to meet, I will introduce you to those people. And we're growing obviously fairly quickly, and we would love you to come there and to benefit and get value from the experience and then spread the word.
5:30 to 8.
5:30 to 8.
Cool.
Okay, thank you.
What's the dress code?
What's that?
What is the dress code for the Citrus Club?
The dress code is business casual. Okay, I don't know, I probably won't be wearing jeans, but, no athletic, like, no athletic wear, things like that, no caps.
Anything citrus color would be nice.
Yeah.
No flip-flops.
Yeah, no flip-flops, yeah.
I'm gonna go full blown black tie with scuba gear.
Don't hold your breath.
Yeah.
It's getting too deep.
Once again, thank you everybody for coming. Please follow us and like us and say something nice about us on the socials. If you enjoyed today, say something nice about what you got out of today, whether it's the presentation itself or the feedback. Maybe be involved in the feedback with something that jazzed you, and we ask that you share that. If you didn't have fun, then say something nice anyway and share it with 5 people that you hate. You'll show them.
You'll show them.
We hope that you've made some connections here and you can carry those out into the community. There are a number of local coffee shops and small restaurants that are locally owned. We would ask that if you're gonna connect with somebody and go have a cup of coffee, go to a locally owned shop and support some local business while you do that, because, you know, they're entrepreneurs too, and we'd love to keep that support going outside of this room. We are looking for presenters for next week, so if anybody, like I said, if you've got an idea, if you've already applied, this wasn't that scary, was it?
No.
No.
Still flinching.
The pool of blood down here on the floor has already mostly cleaned up, mostly.
It's dry.
So, no, that's coffee. But anyway, thank you all very much. We'll see you all next week, as Eric would say, in 167 hours.
Yep.